Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a update video, what have I been doing type thing. I haven't posted in I believe like a month. I have been slowly picking away at Delta Flyer, and that's mostly what this video is going to be about, is updating my progress on that. I have been busy with trying to find a job still, making resumes like crazy, all that kind of stuff, so that's taken a lot of my time. We've also had a death in the family on my wife's side, so I've been making sure I'm here to support her, and I've really just been slowly kind of working at this when I've kind of felt like it or when I've had the chance. I hope to be doing a live stream next weekend. Look out for that on my channel. Definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm live streaming. Like I say, I do hope to do that most likely next Saturday. I'm actually going to be leaving tomorrow for camping, so I won't be doing a whole lot of work on this again. Summer is just kind of like a busy time for a lot of people, and myself included, I guess. But what I have here is kind of the state of Delta Flyer. So if you don't know, this is the big brother to my Min Delta. This is how it should have been, the size, for the most part. Mine is maybe a little bit short. I don't know if people are going to build this height or 50 millimeters higher. The Z height of this is about 90 millimeters. It's 120 by 120 circular build area, but 90 millimeters on the Z. I like that height for this printer, but I can see some people maybe wanting to increase that by 50 millimeters. You can certainly do that very easily. You will have to cut taller acrylic panels, which I'll show off in just a moment, and cut taller door. And then your side corner brackets here would have to increase by 50 millimeters. Not very big deal. If you guys are interested in a taller version, let me know in the comments, and I will make sure there's STL files for the corner brackets, and I'll make sure there's 2 sets of DXF files if you're laser cutting some acrylic panels. So as you can see, this does have laser cut acrylic panels. I'm actually just going to show off here. I'm going to turn on the RGB light so you can see a little bit better. All right, so you can see I've turned on my RGB. So in the build that I've done here, I am using the Mellowfly D5P, I think, mainboard, and it comes with these socketable RGB drivers. And I had an idea in my head of using them as my enclosure LED, which worked out great. It's a good board for people to use. It's lacking a bit in documentation, but I got it working successfully. So I have mounted it on the inside upper part of the printer here because I wanted the LEDs to face into the enclosure. That might not be what everyone wants. They might want to put it up here on the other side of the top plate here. So again, you might be running like a Big Tree Tech Pico up here or an SKR Mini or something like that. That's totally fine. I just decided to run it this way because I wanted to really utilize that RGB function that this board has. This board is actually, I think, the cheapest 5 driver board you can get for $35 Canadian, I think. That's the board and the drivers, if I remember. It's 35 bucks or something like that on AliExpress. It's a very, very good deal. I don't even think the non-RGB version is that cheap for some reason. So that's why I chose to use this. But again, as you can see, I have laser cut some black acrylic panels for both sides. I do have a door coming, a special acrylic door for the front that should be cut hopefully today, and I'll have that on during my live stream next week. I do have some provisions up the top here for a Sherpa Mini style extruder. So like a Sherpa Mini could go right here. Your board and tube would run down into the middle of the enclosure. I also had an extruder mounted on the bottom of this plate on the inside as well. So There's a couple different mounting options. I don't really know what's best yet. I will be releasing the files out and letting the community kind of decide what's best. But there are a couple different options there, certainly. I am actually using the Boombox Extruder by James Prey. So if you have not checked out his channel, definitely check out link in the description below. I'll link to his channel. He is the designer of Boombox. This is a beta version of it. It's working great for me. Essentially what it is a dual motor extruder that does not have gear reduction. So it is very fast, and you want that speed for pressure advance. So there's a decent sized Bowden tube on this printer. You need a really fast extruder for pressure advance to work really well. If you're running an extruder that has like a big gear reduction, generally pressure advance suffers because it's just not fast enough to do that. So I'm testing that out on here and I'm really happy with it. It's potentially inspired me to design my own dual motor extruder, potentially. I obviously have a lot of projects on the go, so I'm not really starting too much on that right now, but it's an idea I have. With this Delta, I have done carbon fiber arms. I will show off here near the end of the video. I'm going to do a kind of quick walk around so all of you can kind of see the approach that I'm taking on this printer. This has taken me quite a bit longer also because it's enclosed. There's a lot of considerations I need to make for like the corner plates, how they'll work with acrylic. I need to add seat heat sets all over the place. Where are my wires going to route? I am actually routing all my wires internally. So they are taped to the inside of the panels. So I don't have any wires on the outside going from the bottom to the top of the printer to my main board. That's all done inside the printer. However, I do want to make some cutouts on this so that people can run the wires on the outside if they so choose. So I'm trying to think of like what everyone's going to want to do to build this. And that takes a lot of time, and that's kind of what's been delaying the build of this printer. But I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to give you a quick walk around here, a little bit more up close, and kind of show you what I've done. And then we'll kind of end the video there. And like I say, there's definitely going to be some much more information out on this. I will post a live stream here coming soon, hopefully next Saturday. But let's take a quick look at this and we'll talk about it a little bit from there. All right. So here, as you can see, I have my LED lights on there on my stepper drivers. Works great on an enclosed printer. You can see my really awesome wiring job. I've just got the wiring taped in on the sides there. So it looks clean on the outside. It looks okay on the inside. I'm not running any of my motor wires outside the frame and then up. However, if users do want to do that, I am going to do provisions for that. You can see my 3D printed corner brackets here. I am using dovetail joints to connect them in the middle, so no hardware needed. It's working out really great. You can see my acrylic panels here. This one has provision for Boombox on the side because I am testing that on this printer. So I do plan on actually designing a cutout here. So you can actually pass out your motor wires if you wanted to. You can pass out power. You can pass out your heated bed wires, whatever you want to do here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and I'm going to change the acrylic panel to accommodate that. I had to Dremel this out. I'm just running my extruder wire, my power, and right now I'm running USB. You're most likely going to have your big tree or your Pi on here. So again, I will be notching this out here for wires to come in. There will be a top cover on here that's magnetic, just like Min. I also plan on doing some notches here, some holes, so that you can run wires out and into this top component here as well. So again, I'm trying to just accommodate every option I can imagine. You can see here another corner bracket. These are just two pieces, really easy to print. And this is the updated one. You can see my bolts are recessed now. They will be recessed on the actual real files that are coming out. I've got a lot of tweaks and changes I need to do on these parts. It's just a lot of little things that have added up as I've been building this printer slowly and slowly and slowly. So yeah, I am also using a aluminum plate that I found on AliExpress. This is 150 by 150. It fits in here pretty nicely, and this is heated. So I actually do have a heated bed on this already. No painter's tape on this, which is shocking for a prototype for me, as you know. I've made a couple little tweaks to the hot end, bamboo hot end mount here. This is using an ECAS fitting now, which is much better. All of the M3 bolts now have M3 nuts. That's also the case too on the carriage here. You can see M3 nuts. I've just been going around and basically updating and modifying everything I can possibly do. I also spend a lot of time and made some carbon rods for this version, and then I have some MP jets. I of course will have a nice updated bill of materials for this printer once it releases. All of my billing materials now are AliExpress affiliate links. I want to make sure everyone is aware of that. It helps me out a lot, and there's no extra cost to you. So if you're not supporting me on Patreon or YouTube membership or anything like that, that's a great way to support the channel. I really do appreciate it. So that's kind of a quick overview on Delta Flyer. Progress is finally coming to an end. I'm hoping, like I say, to do a live stream next weekend and maybe releasing some files next weekend. So stay tuned for that. Let me know any feedback, questions you might have in the comments below, and I will catch all of you next time. Thanks, everybody.